What's up, guys? Dr. J Zhang here with you with Against the Grain and Zhang Nation. I have to make this a quick post, a quick release, a quick video, because I'm dead smack in the middle of astronomy right now and trying to get out of that in a couple weeks at the latest, so I'm really pushing it. However, I did promise another video taking science and theology and blending them together to prove God, or whatever you want to call it. So, without further ado, in astrobiology, the building blocks of life, you have to have amino acids, period. These are important organic compounds that are necessary for life. You gotta have sugars. Beyond the solar system, astronomy has found some pretty cosmic stuff. Raw material alcohol, formaldehyde, other little stepping stones. But it is still pretty daunting to go from raw materials to genes that are very complex, though. So maybe there was a formation of an early RNA, ribonucleic acid, that evolved. There was definitely stromatolites found, which are 3.5 billion year old fossils that contain oxygen producing bacteria in them. So there's our breath, our oxygen, our O2 necessary. Let me take it back to theology for a second. It's impossible to read the Bible literally. There are some literal things in there, but you got to remember they are basic instructions before leaving Earth. As some pastor years ago coined the term, Bible is an acronym, BIBLE, basic instructions before leaving Earth. Surely we didn't know what DNA and all that was thousands of years ago, because that was recently discovered, within the last 100 years, right? Precisely. So God knew that in our finite, very silly, very temporary minds, we wouldn't know what that was when the Bible was written, period. And once again, the creation story, a lot of it has truth in it, but you can't read it from a literal lens. Let's take the creation of Adam and Eve, right? He talked about forming Adam from dust and the dust of the earth, and build him and breathe life into him, and then took a rib or a side out of Eve to make her. And there's a lot of truth in that at the very basic level. The primary chemical elements that make up the human body are oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus. 99% of the body's mass. Most of that you can find from the dust of the earth. So, it doesn't say that explicitly in the creation story because we have to read it through different lens. But when he created Adam, which is Hebrew for just simply man, from the dust of the earth, could have taken some dust from the earth and taken that rich carbon and some nitrogen and all this and formed literal man. What about Eve? Here is what is necessary for the rungs of a ladder of DNA. In those rungs of the ladder of DNA are tiny islets or ribs. Speaking of ribs, I want some Kansas City barbecue or some Memphis barbecue or something. Anyway, speaking of ribs, forensics, when they are doing autopsies or they are just needing something for a criminal case or whatever, the rib is one of the most DNA-rich parts of your body you can extract for evidence. And if God is creating a whole woman for the very first time out of a man, he's going to need a lot of that DNA to make a creation, correct? So why not go for the rib, just like the Bible says? Except don't read it through the regular lens. Read it through a different lens of allegory, of mystery, because a lot of the Bible is like that. Now, like I said, there's truth, there's historical truth, but a lot of it There's allegory, there's parables, there's allegories, and there's hidden information that has taken us years to realize as a society. Science is figuring it out, like with DNA. And God went to work to create man and woman. There they are, Adam and Eve. So wonderful. They look like a good couple. And there's Adam Sandler. He's pretty cool too. And in terms of the astrology that I'm working on, the Bible mentions planets. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Jupiter and other objects, heavenly objects, were created on day 4. And there's several other passages that relate to that. Several. He created them for his glory, and they are purposeful and good. Hell, some of them might be good for space mining one day. I mean, the methane on Neptune, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We'll have natural resources abundantly. Who knows? Anyway, thank you for listening, watching, etc. Stay safe, God bless, and I bid you adieu.